Alright, good morning everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood old soldier. All you friends and neighbors and other folks are so bored that this is the only option you got to watch. Coming at you today from Robeson County, North Carolina. If you're a new viewer and don't know where that's at, look on a map. For you young kids, a map, it's that paper that's got the country drawn on it with all the states, and it's a topographic representation of the earth as seen from above, drawn to scale. Okay, so I know they don't teach that stuff in school, so thought I'd let you know what that is. You can go to Walmart if you choose to shop there, but go to a truck stop or Barnes and Noble in the travel section and get you an old-fashioned road atlas. Long story short, we're the largest county in North Carolina. We're also the poorest county. We're just south of Cumberland County in North Craptacular where sits the craptacular town of Fayetteville, or Fayetteville as they call it. And Bragg. I almost said it. So, that's where we're located, folks. Hope everybody had a good weekend. For the most part, my weekend was busy. I had students on Saturday and Sunday with the business. One for concealed carry, the other for basic handgun course. So if you're new to the channel, I am a certified USCCA firearms instructor. I'm also certified in the state of North Carolina to give the concealed handgun permit course. You can follow my content on J&L Shooting Academy on that page. I don't have a whole lot on there yet. I'm trying to work up to it and get stuff started putting on there. You got to make time to make the videos and put them up. But anyways, for you, Brother Kyle, I hope you're doing well, sir. And everybody else as well. My wife was telling me this morning that a friend of ours on Facebook had posted where soldiers from Fort Bragg deployed last night. Now I want to say I heard something on the radio. I've been on the regular news, I don't know, one of the two attempted media sources talking of these things. I want to say they're sending them to the Middle East. I don't know if it's Syria or Iraq. Part of it is our embassies, our consulates, all of that around the nation are under siege. A good many of them are under siege. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The worst part about it is we have a presidency that's not a president, with a vice president that's an idiot, with Congress that can't sort laundry, let alone the issues of our nation. And of course, then another shooting. First one up in Maine, I heard they found that man unalive over the weekend. Okay, who knows? Maybe the CIA got somebody that got him. I don't know. All I know is they said they found that shooter dead. But apparently there was another mass shooting in Florida at a Halloween party. So I guess Kooky Kamala's on her way to Florida next. Because no sooner than that shooting happened in Maine, I'm guessing she was in Australia. God, feel sorry for the Australians that she was down there. But, you know, comparing what Australia did back in the 90s to what we need to do here in America today. Well, one, if you talk to the average Australian citizen, they regret letting their government do that to them. Let me clarify that. They regret letting their government do that to them. Prior to that, Australia was a fairly staunch pro-gun country in the sense that people had a right to protect themselves. The fact that you can still have certain types of hunting weapons in the country, but the rules are really stringent from what I understand. You have to have the gun contained in one area, the ammunition in another, the firing mechanism, bolt action rifle bolt has to be removed. Why you don't have it for home taking, you've got it for hunting. So why does it need to be kept assembled and loaded? And then you can have a handgun, but you have to prove a need to have a handgun for home defense or defense. Long story short, these liberal countries around the world that have done gun confiscations, crime rates spiked on the initial and really never come down. Great Britain, when they did it, what did their criminals do? They resorted to using baseball bats, cricket bats, knives, pipes, tennis rope, whatever they get their hands on to beat somebody to death. And those kinds of things. Why? Because they took the people's ability to protect themselves away. So much so now they ban knives in that country. You can't have a pocket knife, it seems like. So, what about kitchenware? What am I supposed to cut my meat with? You see, their liberal mindset, if one individual does wrong, we have to punish everybody. But what's unique, and we'll talk Canada right quick, with their dictator, Castro's bastard son, Trudeau. Yeah, YouTube, I said it. Kiss my ass if you think otherwise. Trudeau making their version of executive order, I guess. No more, Canadians will no longer be able to buy handguns. You don't need them. They're not necessary. Blah, 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 blah. Boy, you got fire trucks galore up here at the gas station. Something done happened up here at the BP. Anyway, nothing's on fire though, so maybe false alarm. But anyway, folks, like I said, what's the difference between all those nations and us? Our founding forefathers, when they wrote the Constitution, knew that there was the potential that our government can become so bloated and so big to the point that it becomes tyrannical. Therefore, we needed to protect the rights of the individual American to stay armed in the event we needed to suppress said mentioned tyrannical government. And that is why the likes of the Kooky Kamalas and the Joe Blowjob Bidens, not safe for working children, the asshole Obamas, the murderous Clintonites, etc., so forth, are hell-bent to take away the rights of every American citizen to arm and defend themselves from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Not or, and. Now, with that being said, if you don't think that the enemy is not already here on U.S. soil, friends, you are sadly mistaken. You are living in a bubble. You are living in a dream or fantasy world if you do not believe that. Now, when's the other shoe going to drop? That's the part I haven't figured out yet. But our southern border is wide the hell open. And they're coming across every day. And not just people from South America, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua. These people are coming into Mexico from all these other countries, such as China, Africa, the Middle East. And what's that lend to? That lends to the fact that there's more than one player in the game with more than one agenda and one purpose, more than one purpose. But the common goal, the common purpose is eventually to divide and defeat this nation. Hell, our own politicians are doing a damn good job of balkanizing us. Every day you turn around, them rat bastards are fighting amongst themselves for every little scrap of power they can get. That daggum Ocasio-Cortez with her rat-fink, buck-toothed face. Which reminds me of. Ought to put her and rat-fink Fauci in the same room, see who eats one first. Got tongue-tied there. Both them big old buck-toothed chompers. They're the epitome of human rats. Trying to keep all the power for themselves and all the good stuff for themselves while just throwing a fickle little bit of scraps to everybody else. Mr. Van, you are a freaking idiot. You pull out and you slow down. Get it on the road and get it up to speed. I can see why you've been telling it before. You're driving like an idiot. Sorry, folks, I'm in the mood this morning. Been up since 2 o'clock this morning. But yeah. So we got that going on. And now, like I said, with the starting of the video, sending troops to the Middle East. We ain't got no business building back up over there. Because here pretty soon we're going to need every troop we can get here on the U.S. soil. The problem is they have no leadership right now, folks. I'm sorry. You know, at the very, very top, there is no leadership. It's a bunch of political entities that are playing politics with the elected government. I hold no stock in the current Chief of Staff of the Army. I darn sure don't hold any stock in the current Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Darn sure lost all respect for the outgoing Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That traitorous bastard. His ass ought to have been tried court-martialed for treason. Conversing with a known enemy that if our president issued said mentioned order, he would call and let them know ahead of time. That's treason. I don't care how you shake a stick at it. That is freaking treason. Had I done that in my career, my ass would be sitting in Leavenworth right now, making big rocks into little rocks and little rocks into gravel and gravel into dust. That's how long I'd be in that place. Our government has weaponized the Department of Justice against the American people. You don't believe that? I got some swampland beachfront property in Arizona I'll sell you for 10 cents on the dollar. You still got people sitting up there locked up in Washington, D.C. over January 6th that have not been formally charged. Technically, they said they're still under a state of detention. No, you need to let them go. You're not going to charge them, you need to let them go. And if you are going to charge them, all evidence needs to be allowed. That's the other problem with this kangaroo court trials of some of these people. Certain evidences are not being allowed to be seen or heard or witnessed. They know what they want in their verdict and they're getting it. Why? Because they put people in place that are allowing it to happen. Oh, no, you got to be careful about what you're saying. They might come for you. Let them come. Let them come. I haven't said nothing that's illegal. I'm stating an opinion, YouTube. So YouTube, if you want to report me to the FBI, the CIA, the ATF, or my local authorities, go right ahead. Why you do it, kiss my ass. increasing ammunition prices. Why? Because they know they can't get rid of the Second Amendment. So, yeah, what we'll do is we'll price you out of the gun game. We'll make ammunition so expensive, you're not going to want to go shoot your guns. Or they'll make it, and the fact that many of the states tax the crap out of things like that, are passing laws that you can't pass your firearms down to your children without them going and paying a fee or a tax on it when you pass it on to them. Friends, just keep your eyes open. It's the best thing I can tell you. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ear to the ground. Watch what's going on around you. Gather with like-minded people so that when this other shoe falls, you've got a community, a group of people that are within a driving/walking distance that you can pool resources with. Okay? Because if crap goes down the way it's headed right now, we're going to be hit with all kinds of shortages. Fuel, food, munitions, you name it. Dry goods. It's coming. How long it'll last, I don't know. When it's going to happen, I haven't figured that out yet, but my thoughts, it can't be much longer at the rate things are going. We're coming into an election year, and if you think these elections are going to be fair and impartial, you got another thing coming, folks. You got another thing coming. I personally do not see any impartiality in the coming elections. None whatsoever. They got away with it this last election. They're going to push to get away with it again. Just think about it. All the donkey crack communists that complained about election tampering and rigging, none of them were ever charged with anything. The last president, when he claimed the same thing, he's been charged multiple times and in multiple states. Now, mind you, not all of them because of election tampering or fraud. Some of these states are trumping up some charges, no pun intended, just to tie him up in court. That's the other thing. Some of these cases are against the former president, hold no merit, no stock, no weight whatsoever. They don't. But they know if they can tie him up in court, he can't get out and campaign. The problem is his base is out there doing it for him. Now, that being said, I'm not 100% sure how this thing's going to turn out in November. I keep hearing certain states he's not even making the ballots. I don't know how all that works. But honestly, the Republicans have got no candidates of merit whatsoever. I mean, Tim Scott out of South Carolina is a decent guy, but I just don't know if he's presidential material. Of course, that rat-fink bastard Mike Pence just dropped out of the race, thank God. I think Nikki Haley's still in the race, but I don't see her going much farther. Now, one business guy, I hadn't heard much out of him lately. After they come out and they basically said he plagiarized one of Obozo's speeches. I mean, he still might be running. I just, they've kind of piped down on him after that whole thing where they caught him basically copying Obozo's speech. Of course, Joe Biden did it twice and he's president. So I don't know, folks. I really don't know. Like I said, I've got no faith. And honestly, even in my local, that's the other thing. Your local elections are very important. Your county commissioners are, your town council, your mayor, your state congressional and senatorial representation. All of those are very, very, very important. But even at that point, there's only one right now that I can speak of with any certainty that I'll vote for again, and that's my local state senator. Because I have found him to be an honorable man. I have met with him several times. Recently, I included him on some email correspondence over an issue where I live about a matter of school safety. I'll leave it at that. And needless to say, he got answers and got made things happen. Now, mind you, I didn't go to him initially. I attempted to contact the school, superintendent. Didn't think to contact the school board. I should have, but didn't. But after all my attempts to work with the school and the superintendent's office failed, I emailed the superintendent and also CC'd my state senator on the issue. And after I did that, boy, my email and my phone started blowing up. So I know he's a man of character, a man of honor, a man who cares. The rest of them, I don't trust as far as I could throw Oprah Winfrey and I can't remember that fat heifer's name, Rosie O'Donnell. You can tie those two together. Anyway, folks, y'all stay safe, keep your eyes open, stay vigilant, gather what you can right now, and just hold on, see where this ride takes us. I'm praying and hoping things will get better, but I'm a bit of a pessimist. Until then, my friends, soldier out.